Shockwaves hit the royals, Brits and tabloids in meltdown as Liz Jones dares to call Kate ruthless. The palace walls tremble. The British tabloids weren't ready for this storm. One word, ruthless, has detonated across royal land like thunder in Buckingham Palace's drawing room. Liz Jones, the fearless columnist known for throwing literary grenades into royal narratives, has done it again. Her latest Mail Plus exclusive headline roared across the internet. And with that, Britain's royal façade cracked a little more. The courtiers gasped, the derangers screeched, and the tabloids had a collective meltdown. Because the moment someone calls Kate ruthless, the spell of perfect duchess shatters, and the palace PR machine panics. For years, British tabloids sold the story of sweet, innocent, selfless Kate, a woman of grace, silence, and patience. But Liz Jones's column flipped the script. She compared Kate's steel to Shakespeare's Lady Macbeth, and in doing so, said what many royal watchers have whispered for years. Ruthless, wrote Liz, the driving force. Oh, how the palace must have hated that. Because when you call Kate ruthless, you strip away the fairy dust and reveal the calculation. You expose the woman behind the smile, the strategist behind the soft curls, the palace power player who, according to Liz Jones, wanted Prince Andrew out of Royal Lodge permanently. And just like that, the internet exploded. Royal fans were divided, one half cheering, "Finally someone said it," and the other half clutching pearls, screaming, "How dare you!" But Liz Jones didn't flinch. She's been in this game too long to fear the wrath of royal PR. She described Kate as the invisible hand, the one who moves chess pieces while the rest pretend she's just supporting her husband. Kate, as Liz boldly implied, has stopped pretending to be the shy, silent duchess. She's now the operator, the planner, the power behind the throne who quietly dictates outcomes and narratives while others play catch-up. Let's rewind to the real-life royal drama at the heart of this storm, Prince Andrew's eviction. For months, whispers have haunted Windsor that Andrew, disgraced and exiled from public life, has been quietly fighting to keep his lavish royal lodge. But then, like a palace ghost story, came the twist. Someone in the royal circle wanted him out. And according to Liz Jones, that someone wasn't Charles. It wasn't William. It was Kate. The ruthless Princess of Wales, she says, was the driving force pushing to remove Andrew and tighten royal control. Why? Because in the new streamlined monarchy, there's no room for scandal or for reminders of the monarchy's darkest associations. Liz suggested that Kate's quiet influence has grown to such heights that even Charles and Camilla tread lightly around her. No one now dares cross her, she wrote. And with those words, the columnist didn't just describe power, she declared it. Kate, once the royal understudy, is now being cast as the director of the drama, the woman who decides who stays and who goes. And that terrifies the old guard, who once saw her as harmless and mild. Within minutes of Liz's article dropping, social media caught fire. Liz Jones called her ruthless. "Oh my God, she said it out loud," tweeted one user. Another wrote, "Macbeth is shaking. Lady Macbeth walked so Kate Middleton could run." And then came the tabloids, the palace defenders, the don't say anything negative about the Princess Brigade. They flooded timelines and front pages with outrage, painting Liz as jealous, delusional, or obsessed. But here's the irony. The more they screamed, the more they proved her point. The fear of criticizing Kate has become its own national neurosis. No one is allowed to question the narrative, and Liz Jones just did. The result? She broke the silence. She broke the myth. And she broke the internet. Liz Jones has never been one to play safe. She's the columnist who writes with a pen dipped in both wit and venom, unafraid to describe what others politely avoid. By calling Kate ruthless, Liz forced the royal conversation into the open. For years, palace PR painted Kate as the anti-Meghan, gentle, pure, and silent. But now, the same woman who once represented calm has been exposed as cunning, manipulative, and controlling. Is that leadership or domination? The answer lies in how quickly the palace moved to protect her image, while the tabloids scrambled to rewrite history. Because when Meghan Sussex was described as ambitious, the press called her dangerous. When Kate is described as ruthless, suddenly it's savvy. The double standard couldn't be clearer. Liz Jones didn't create it, she just ripped the mask off. Liz's article also sparked whispers about a deeper dynamic inside the palace, the shift of power from Camilla to Kate. Camilla may wear the crown, but Kate, according to Liz, is the one everyone fears. "No one now dares cross her," she wrote, a sentence that could double as a line in The Crown. Behind closed doors, Kate is said to wield the kind of influence that quietly shapes royal strategy, from who's in the inner circle to who's exiled to the outskirts. If true, it means she's no longer just William's wife. She's become the monarchy's iron fist in pastel coats, unyielding, unsentimental, and ruthless in pursuit of control. And that's precisely what terrifies those who built the royal narrative on her supposed sweetness. Because this isn't the smiling, silent duchess they sold. This is the calculating woman who knows exactly how to manipulate public image, when to disappear, and when to strike. It's almost poetic how perfectly Shakespeare's Macbeth mirrors this modern royal tale. Lady Macbeth was elegant, determined, and unafraid to seize power, qualities that history has often punished in women. Liz Jones comparing Kate to Lady Macbeth wasn't an insult, it was an unveiling. It suggested a woman who doesn't merely stand beside power, but directs it, quietly, and without remorse. And while Lady Macbeth was ultimately destroyed by guilt, there's no sign Kate's facing any such inner turmoil. In fact, according to Liz, she's thriving, cool, calculated, and unstoppable. In this version of the royal saga, Kate isn't the victim. She's the architect of palace chaos. Prince Andrew's eviction was more than a property dispute. It was a royal purge. Royal Lodge, once his fortress of privilege, became the symbol of how far he had fallen. But who orchestrated that fall? Liz Jones says it was Kate's insistence on control. And if that's true, the eviction wasn't just about Andrew. It was about image, about power consolidation, about making sure no one else dares to challenge her standing. Kate's role, then, wasn't just practical, it was ruthless self-preservation. She became the face of royal accountability, while behind the scenes she was eliminating threats and securing her own dominance. But Liz's article cracked that illusion. It asked, what happens when the woman behind the curtain decides she likes the power she's been given and refuses to give it back? No one dares cross her. Those words echoed across social media like a warning bell. Because in a monarchy built on hierarchy, fear is the strongest weapon. If Liz Jones is right, Kate's influence has reached the point where even Charles hesitates to oppose her. That's not just gossip, that's a coup in pearls. It suggests that Kate has transcended her title. She's become the enforcer of royal order, the quiet commander behind the velvet curtains of Kensington Palace, orchestrating outcomes, shaping narratives, and silencing dissenters. And perhaps that's why Liz's column struck such a nerve, because it painted a picture of power the palace didn't authorize. As the tabloids scrambled to defend her, ordinary readers were divided. Some praised Liz's honesty, others were horrified, but the truth always makes people uncomfortable. And Liz Jones didn't just describe Kate, she exposed her. The manipulation, the quiet plotting, the way she's used her perfect image as a shield while pulling strings behind closed doors. Because maybe the truth is this, Kate isn't just ruthless. She's power-hungry, image-obsessed, and fully aware that the public sees what she wants them to see. The palace silence only confirms it. As the headlines burned, Kensington Palace stayed silent, the royal family's favourite strategy. But silence in this case speaks volumes. They didn't deny it. They didn't defend it. They just let the storm rage, hoping it would pass. But this time, it didn't. Because Liz Jones touched something deeper than gossip. She touched the truth about control. And once you expose control, it never looks the same again. For years, the media sold the myth of Kate as perfect, the dutiful wife, the flawless mother, the embodiment of British femininity. But Liz Jones stripped away the illusion and replaced it with the reality. Behind the grace lies calculation, behind the smile lies strategy, and behind the royal mask lies a woman who's mastered the art of manipulation. And that's not heroism, that's ruthlessness, pure and simple. By the end of the day, Liz Jones's article had thousands of comments and trended across platforms. She had poked the royal bear, and the roar was deafening. But make no mistake, Liz Jones didn't just write an article, she detonated the royal façade. Because for the first time in years, the British press turned its critical gaze inward, at the woman they built into an untouchable saint. And that's why this piece hit harder than any palace statement or PR maneuver. It wasn't gossip, it was revelation. So where does that leave us? With a monarchy shaken, a public finally questioning the narrative, and a columnist who dared to say what others won't, that Kate Middleton, the woman once branded as the nation's angel, might also be its coldest manipulator. Because power isn't always loud. Sometimes it wears a polite smile and a perfect coat dress. And that's the ultimate irony of this royal drama. The world wanted a fairy tale princess, but what it got was a calculating queen in waiting. A modern Lady Macbeth who doesn't wash her hands because she's too busy tightening her grip on the crown.
The submission itself sounds nice. And to my amazing and peculiar Sussex family, thank you all for watching our videos and tuning in to Daily Diaries Friday's update. Keep it light, keep it there, and see you next time in our next episode. Bye bye. May you have a good day and a good time. Keep shining. Bye bye.